yoga for the knees today. So, reason I'm doing it, well, not the only reason, but part of the reason is I've been getting a little bit of pain in one of my knees. So, it seems to come on after I play badminton, and I've not played badminton for quite a few years. And also, I bought some new trainers, and so yeah, there's definitely something going on, and I want to just kind of like realign my knee. So the exercises I'm going to do are going to be quite specific to the issue that I'm getting with the knee. Obviously, if you are suffering from an issue with the knee, you you could try, you're fine to try what I'm doing and just see how it feels for you. So some of the postures you might find they really help, and some of them they might make the issue worse. So I'll tell you my problem, what I'm getting. So it's on my left leg, and yeah, sort of, I don't know, 11 or so years ago, 12 years ago maybe, I did have issues with this knee when I was running. So I changed my running shoes and it seemed fine. And I've done quite a lot of yoga. I've done a lot of really physical yoga and it's always been fine. Sort of the last few years, a lot of the yoga practice I've been doing have been probably not so physical, and I've been doing quite a lot of meditation and things like that. And obviously I've had a child as well, and which can loosen the ligaments and tendons after you've had or when you're pregnant and after you've had children, and when you're breastfeeding, everything's a little bit looser around all the joints, so that affects as well. So yeah, I've not probably been stretching out as well as I could, and also doing the physical postures that I know help if I'm doing quite a bit of sport. So obviously the things I'd probably, if you are getting knee issues, I'd say to look at, first of all, totally shoes. So whether you do sport, if you do sport, obviously whatever trainers you're wearing. If you're not doing sport, it could be things like high heels, it could be flip flops, shoes that don't support the arch on the foot. So you can look at getting new shoes, and also inner soles for your shoes, so that you're supporting your foot properly, and that often does do the trick with the knee. The other things I'd look at are technique. So obviously with sport, actually your technique in doing what you're doing, is there something you could change? And that kind of goes into your daily life. So maybe your technique in, like, if you're sitting a lot, or if you've got a manual job and you're bending down a lot, checking your technique, that if you're doing something on a regular basis, it is going to start to wear and tear if your technique is not correct. So technique goes hand in hand with alignment, and this is yoga. So the bonus of yoga is to totally help with your alignment. So that's what we're going to look at today. The pain that I'm getting in the knee is on the medial side of the knee, so it's the inside of the knee. So I'm going to from kind of like figuring out what muscles it probably is. I've probably got a bit of an imbalance in the quads, so some of the quads might be tight, some might be weak. Also the hamstrings, again, some of the hamstrings might be pulling on this. Quite a few, you've got sort of like the main ligament running down the side of the knee, which supports the knee, and you've got quite a few attachments from the muscles, so tendons around the knee. So obviously if any of these muscles are tight, it's going to be pulling there. So obviously the aim today is to stretch these muscle groups, tight muscles, so also my adductors tight as well, and then to strengthen certain muscle groups as well. So I think I am possibly medially rotating the leg, and when I do racket sports, I I'm sort of on this side and probably putting quite a lot of pressure on this side. Again, it's probably due to my trainers not supporting my arch, so my foot is probably not supported and rolling over. So I'm going to change my trainers and see if that helps, definitely. But strengthening and stretching certain muscles to correct the alignment and also to stabilise the knee, make it stronger. So as well as the knee, we want to be looking at the foot and the ankle. Obviously, like I've just said, the hamstrings, quad, etc. And we're also going to look at the hip. So I think, again, this side I'm quite strong in the glutes. This side I'm not so strong. So I think some of the muscles around the hip that rotate the leg outwards probably need strengthening as well. So, so that's what I'm going to do for you today. So generally, if you are getting knee problems, the first exercise I'm going to do is probably going to help anyway. We're just going to do some hamstring stretches. So yeah, you want to come down onto your mat. Make sure you're comfy. If you need something under your head, that's cool. I'm not going to, I'll just move mine to the side. So we're going to come to a nice comfy position, laid on our backs, and just check your alignment. So we want the knees bent and the feet flat on the floor. You want your feet about hip width, and just taking a few deep breaths, just like tuning into your breathing. So obviously working on the knee, if at any time you feel pain, stop the exercise. If you're just feeling like a good stretch and you think it might be helping, obviously continue with it. You can always check the next over the next few days after you've done these exercises, see how it's affected your knee. So we're going to do the right leg first. So we're just going to bring the right leg up. So we're kind of keeping the hips square. We're going to really like get our alignment right today. So hips are square and legs coming up. So we're wanting to get a stretch all the way down the back of the leg. If your hamstrings are really tight, you can keep the knee bent, so that's cool. And you can either hold around the back of the leg, below the knee, or if you want above the knee. To increase the stretch, you can push it up through your heel, so you're like drawing your toes towards you. If you've got like a belt or something, or a band, you can use that as well. That's not working, right? So that kind of helps with the stretch as well. So we're just going to hold that. We're going to really breathe into it. So we're going to do some nice deep belly breathing. Maybe breathing in and out through the nose. We're trying to push evenly, so we've got the like the back of the pelvis, the glutes, the upper glutes down on the ground, and we're pushing evenly up through the heel. So hopefully feeling a good stretch all the way up. So it's good to hold for say 30 seconds at least. If you want to hold a bit longer, that's cool. So mine's feeling quite good because I have played badminton a few times this week. And yeah, I'm kind of feeling that in my quad as well. So the whole of my leg, just getting quite a good stretch there. You might want to lengthen your out breath and just kind of like really feel into it. So as you exhale, just try not to resist. So it's all about letting go and releasing tension. So I'm feeling like I need to hold it quite a while because I can really feel it. And this is my good leg as well. This is my good knee, but I can really feel it round the back here. Tension. So I think generally, like a lot of stuff we do in modern society is really bad for the hamstrings. So things such as sitting a lot, sitting at computers, driving, it really shortens the hamstring. So if you're doing a lot of that sort of stuff and then you're going in the evening and you're going and doing some sort of physical activity, hamstrings are going to be short and tight, and then you're kind of obviously working them, but everything's going to be over time, you're going to be out of line. So that's why it's really good just to try and do a regular, daily if possible, sort of yoga practice, or stretches and exercises just to realign the body. So that's feeling really good for me. I'm going to release it now, so I've held that quite a while. I'm going to release, just gently bending the knee. So obviously we're working with the knee, so just listen to your body. I'm going to bring the hands onto the top of the knee and go to where you feel comfy. I'm just drawing the knee back. So I'm trying to keep alignment. So I'm trying to keep my ankle in line with my knee, in line with my hip. So it's, yeah, I'm not going to the side, either side. So I'm just going to hold it there. Also like point through your toes as well. And then I'm going to do that one again. So we're going to start to straighten out the leg again. And again, if you want to use your belt, that's cool. And just go to how far you feel you can go. So if you can't straighten the leg, that's okay. You just want to go to where you're feeling a nice stretch, and then hold it there and breathe into it. So I'm hoping that because we've done one already and then we've sort of relaxed the leg, I'm hoping on this second one you are going to feel like you can go that little bit further. So you might be straightening the leg now, or if you were fairly straight already, you might even be able to, on an exhale, draw the leg a little bit closer towards you. So you're still pushing up through the heel, you can draw the toes back. Really connect with your breathing. Maintain your alignment. So ankle, knee, hip. So my legs shaking. I think my quads have probably had quite a good workout this week, so they're kind of but hopefully doing a good job for the hamstrings, releasing the hamstrings. So yeah, sometimes it's good to go into it, feel the point of where you're getting the stretch, hold, generally probably do about 5 breaths, or sort of 15, 20, 30 seconds maybe, and then you can maybe push a little bit further on an exhale, so sometimes that's quite good. So I feel like I'm kind of like lengthening up through the leg. I can feel it releasing a bit, and I'm trying to keep my pelvis like down onto the ground, the back of my pelvis, and lengthening up through my heel. And then again, we'll just bend the knee and we'll bring it in. So again, maintain your alignment. Just breathe into that. So this, I'm hoping on my other knee, this bending the knee like this, maintaining the alignment, for me seems to feel okay. Depending on what sort of issue you've got with the knee, it could hurt. So if you feel like you can only sort of go to there, obviously don't push it. If you're getting those like sort of sharp pains, just make sure it feels okay. Just going to take the leg up one more time, and we're going to keep a little bend in the knee, and we're going to just point and flex the toes. So again, try and maintain the alignment. Maybe inhale, flex exhale point. So just good for loosening up, but we're going to just do a circle as well. So circle the toes, just loosening the ankle, and then circle the other way. And just shake it out and bring it back down. So again, just take a few deep breaths. You might need to like adjust yourself a little bit. Make sure you feel comfy. Breathing deep into your belly. Feet pointing straight forwards. And we're going to do the other side. So I'm going to do my dodgy leg now. Right, so we're going to start to bring the leg up. And again, just listen to your body. So you might need to keep that bend in the knee. That's cool. And draw the toes back towards you. So you're pushing away through the heel. You might want to use your belt or your band. And we're just breathing into that. Again, you can lengthen your exhale, so your exhale's longer than your inhale. So, yeah, just kind of like holding it there, breathe away any tension, maintain the alignment, so not lifting the hip up off the ground, keeping everything down on the ground, alignment with the knee, ankle, hip, alignment of foot as well, so the foot's kind of like flat going up and it's not wonky. So really being aware of your body, and that's like the best thing about yoga, because you really can hold the postures and like move your awareness to everything. So, you know, even your little toe and oh, I've got a cat. I thought I'd shut that door. So just hold as long as you feel you need to hold. Some nice deep belly breathing. Releasing tension from the hamstring, the back of the leg. My cat's having a good stretch as well. So by stretches will obviously help to release the muscles. If you hold stretches for quite a long time, like a few minutes, it does work the connective tissue, so the tendons and the ligaments, and soften those. So in some cases it's good to hold the stretches for longer, and in some cases it's not. Obviously, if you're looking at like the stability around certain joints, maybe you don't want the ligaments to be, or the tendons to be too loose. So but then you don't want them to be too tight either, and generally the case is that they're too tight. Some people naturally have like really loose joints, and that's when you kind of get the dislocations, like around the shoulder and things like that. So I'm feeling like I'm having to hold it for this long, because now I'm starting to really feel it again, like I did on the other side, around just sort of not right at the back of the knee, but quite near the knee, just around this area, quite tight. Right, I'm going to just release that, and then I'm going to again do the same thing. So check your alignment, bend the knee, and I'm going to bring the knee in. So this side I can feel, my knee feels okay doing this exercise, but I can feel quite a bit of tension around the hip. So I think I've got a bit of misalignment in my hips, which I think it's probably just like a general tendency that I've got, but since having children and being right-handed and carrying the kids on the right side, I think it's affecting the hips and sort of, yeah, getting them out of line a bit. So we're going to do that one again. So just take the leg up straight and again listen to your body. So hopefully this time you can go a bit further. Just breathe into it. So you might be able to straighten the leg. Don't worry if you can't. My leg's shaking. Ah. So shaking, like, yeah, is quite natural because as you're stretching certain muscles, you'll be contracting other muscles, and obviously if you have got tension or if you've just done exercise, it's quite natural, like, to get a bit of a shake as you're holding it. So again, if you want to use your band. And again, after you've held it for a few breaths, you might on an exhale feel you can go a bit further, but don't compromise the muscle or the leg or the alignment. So again, on the exhale, I'm like sending my awareness up from the floor all the way up through the glutes, through the back of the leg, and out through the heel. I'm kind of like just trying to release, breathe away tension. I'm going to have to kick you out, like, Krish, if you're in the way. Cats. So yeah, getting a really nice stretch, and I can really feel it, and it's quite near to where I'm getting the tension as well. So I think the hamstrings could be playing a bit of a part in my knee issue. So when you're ready, you could release that and then just squeeze the knee in. Again, listen to your body, make sure it feels okay, check your alignment, just breathe into it. And then just taking the leg up, keep that nice bend in the knee. We're going to point and flex the toes. So exhaling, point, inhaling, flex. You're joining in, Krish. So we're going to circle toes. So yeah, getting lots of clicking in this ankle. So it's good to keep the joints mobile, the muscles stretched. We're going to go the other way. But then it's also to have strength, good to have stability and strength in the joints and the muscles. So yoga's all about 50-50, all about balance. So it's kind of like the aim is to strengthen and to stretch so that the balance is equal between strength and flexibility in our bodies. So have a little shake and just bring that back down, just check your alignment. I'm just going to kick her out because she's showing off a bit there, isn't she? Right, sorry, Krish, I know that's really mean. Right, there you go. So we're going to do reclined cobbler's pose. So cobbler's pose is bringing the soles of the feet together. When I'm doing this, I'm feeling I am feeling quite a bit of a stretch. So I think my adductors on the inside, so my legs are pretty tight, and also it's giving quite a nice sort of lateral movement of the legs, which is counterbalancing what I think I'm doing with my leg, especially when I'm playing badminton, but it's probably just a natural tendency I've got as well. So reclined cobblers is slightly not quite as strong as doing it sitting up, especially for the knees, so I thought it'd be good to do it laid down. So if you need to, you could get some cushions under the knees. And also you might want a blanket under your head as well. So we're just bringing the soles of the feet together and allowing the knees to come out. So I'll show you what I'm doing. So if it feels quite tight, or obviously feeling it on the knees, you might feel that you want to take your feet a bit further away from you. The more supple you are, and if you're not getting any pain or anything, obviously you could bring the feet in a bit closer towards your body. So I'll do it with my cushions, and then I might take my cushions away. But yeah, if you are quite tight in the hips and the legs, cushions are a really good idea. So I'm just going to like walk my body back, and I'm coming down, and got blanket under my head. Again, alignment, so feet, soles of the feet firmly together, nice and aligned, knees going out. Try and maintain the alignment in your hips. You might want to take your arms slightly out away from your body with your palms facing up. And just resting here. So just taking a few nice deep breaths into the belly. So again, really just tuning into your body and what you feel that you need. If like I'm feeling this isn't enough of a stretch for me for targeting what I'm wanting it to target, so, and obviously I like do this posture quite a bit, so I am going to push it a little bit further. So I'm going to bring the feet slightly closer to the body, and I'm taking away my cushions just to see if that'll help me to open my hips a bit better. So I'm going to try that. So this is just a really nice posture in general, getting the blood flow to the pelvic area, great for deep breathing. So yeah, that feels great. So I feel like I can feel the tension in my hips, and I feel like I'm getting a good stretch around the hips, the inner thighs, but I'm not feeling it on either of my knees, so I'm cool, so that's cool. And I can feel that my left leg is tighter as well, my left hip. So it's quite a good one. Again, similar to the hamstring stretch, to hold for a while. If it is the connective tissue, what's really tight around the hip area, you might want to hold for a few minutes to really allow the hips to open and loosen. So yeah, just sort of listen to your body. Again, your exhale can be longer than your inhale. Your inhale can be nice and deep into the belly. So yeah, I'm feeling like I would probably benefit from holding this for a few minutes. As I'm holding it longer, I'm feeling it loosen around the left side, around the hip, and I can feel it quite deep into the glutes as well, somewhere in the glutes. So so yeah, I think this would be quite beneficial to hold for a while. It's always good to sort of like counterbalance your postures in yoga as well. So so if you do hold this for a while, just making sure that you do some other postures, maybe just to help to strengthen the muscles, because this is a very stretching and relaxing one. So to come up, we're going to bring the hands under the thighs and just gently come up. The longer you hold that, your legs do go numb as well, so maybe a bit of trial and error to start off with. So bring the knees in and just have a nice little rock from side to side. So yeah, left hamstring feels great, really well stretched now. We're going to come up to, we're going to come up. So you can either roll onto your side or you can roll straight up. And we're going to do a kneeling posture. So this is called hero pose or thunderbolt pose. So again, if you've got dodgy knees, sometimes just literally doing this can hurt. So if this one feels too strong for you, then obviously give it a miss. Generally, this one's a really good one for the alignment of the knees and for stretching out the thighs as well, and loosening, like lubricating the knees really. So it is a really good one to do if it's not painful. So I'll show you a few different ways of doing it. So basically we're kneeling and the tops of the feet are flat down onto the ground with your toes pointing back. I'll show you the basic way of coming down and then we can use the props after. So the posture would be to lower back down onto the heels and try and bring the legs as close together as possible. So ideally the feet are fairly well aligned, the tops of the feet are pointing straight back. Alignment with the knees and the hips as well. The hands just come down onto the thighs, the shoulders roll back and open, the chest is open, and you lengthen up along the back of your neck, draw the crown of your head upwards. So I'll show you side view. So yeah, it's like coming back from having your knees in line with your hips, coming back, sitting back onto the heels. Legs can just come together if that feels comfy. Maintain the alignment, sit up nice and tall. So if it feels uncomfy under the feet, because they do get a little bit compressed, you could put a blanket under the tops of the feet here just to help. So that might help a little bit. That does feel a bit comfier for me. And then also I'm going to show you with some cushions. Another way of doing it, generally if you're watching this and you have like knee issues, knees are really tight, that full sitting back onto the heels can be an absolute nightmare, really uncomfy, or you might not even be able to get anywhere near without feeling pain, which pain's not good. So one thing you can do is stack some cushions and sit back onto those. I've got a nice blanket underneath, so that's supporting under my feet and stopping my feet really getting squished. It feels like quite comfy. The cushions feel comfy. This feels really comfy actually. So yeah, again, you roll your shoulders back, you maintain your alignment. If you are tight, if you're really tight, you might even need more cushions than that, and you might just be able to go to about there. The important thing is that you're supported so that you can rest into it, and also that you're getting an even stretch through the thighs onto the knees, so keeping the alignment with everything. So ideally the knees are together. The knees can be slightly apart if that feels comfier. My knee's cracking there. Another way of doing it is using blocks. So I'll do two, and the knees are apart for this one. They're going to stay apart and you sit back onto the blocks. So I've got quite a lot of weight going down through the blocks. I've not got any weight going into my feet, but I can maintain the alignment of my like my knees and my feet, but obviously the knees are going out slightly wider. So for alignment, I kind of think keeping everything in line is a bit better, but this is a way of doing it if you want to modify it. And again, it's just really listen to your body. So depending on what the issue is, which way you want to do it really. Yeah, that's that way. I'll just come back into the full posture. I'll come this way. So I'm coming down, you sit back onto the heels and legs together, maintain my alignment, shoulders back, chin down slightly so you lengthen up through the back of your neck. You just do some nice deep breathing. So I would definitely recommend this one. Sometimes when people say hero pose, we start to go further, taking the feet out to the side. I can feel that now. So generally, yeah, I wouldn't do that at all. If you've got any sort of knee issue, just simply maintain the alignment. Okay. I think what I'll do, I'm gonna stop this video and I'll post another one because it's taken quite a while, that one. So I want to do some standing postures as well for the knee. So yeah, I'll do another video for that. So okay, thanks, bye.